Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are and what time of day it is when you watch this video. My name is Z, and welcome back to my gaming corner. In this very first video in a brand new game, I want to show you how I build my cities in City Skylines. I'm going to start a brand new city on a brand new map, and I'm going to show you best tips, best practices on how we can build roads, build intersections, build interchanges, how I build my cities. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff in City Skylines. This version of the game that I'm using is heavily modded. I've downloaded a bunch of assets, a bunch of mods from the workshop, and we'll just go through them as we come to them and as we need them. And I'll show you all about Electric's fine road tools, and we'll be using road anarchy and prop anarchy. And we'll be doing some things with fine road anarchy, and I'm sure you how to use precision engineering, and also how to use Move It, and how to use the node controller and the intersection marking tool, and some fun things you can do with all sorts of different things. Now, I'm going to come over here, and this is the main screen of City Skylines. I have every DLC from Park Life to Mass Transit and After Dark and Snowfall and Sunset Harbor and airports. I have all of it, campus industries, all of it installed. And if we come to the options and we come here to it's not options, it's under Content Manager, and we come down here to mods. This is a list of all my mods. Some I use, some I don't. Like, we don't need airport roads anymore because we have airport roads with the airports DLC. But I have a whole bunch of mods. And there will be a description of the mods that I'm using, and that way you can go to the workshop and you can download some of the mods that I use. Like, I love Electric's fine road tools, and I love the network extensions, and I love road color changer and stuff like that. We're going to start a brand new game, and we're going to go from 0 all the way up to monuments. I'm going to show you how I build cities, and I'll show you how I build my industries, and I'll show you how I zone stuff. I'll show you everything. But we're going to have some fun building a brand new city, and I'll show you how I start, and let's just have some fun. So we're going to click on New Game, and we're going to name our city Crestfall. And we're going to be right-hand traffic, and there's a whole bunch of cities you can build, a whole bunch of maps you can build. I don't have the map pack, but like I do have After Dark, and I have campuses and Sunset Harbor and all these maps to play with. Seven Lakes is a fun map. And when you click on a map, it'll show you the resources that you have. So we have oil and ore and farmland and forestry, and then the amount of water that's available in each of the different maps. It'll also tell you the suitable area for building right here. Like, this is half the map is suitable for building. And then there's Marble Canyon, 69% suitable for building, lots of water, trees and stuff. And I don't want to be in Boreal. 54%. Where's my favorite map to build on? Blackwoods is actually really fun to build on. Basin is Boreal, Foggy Hills, Grand Rivers. No, I've never played on Hanami Bay. 70% suitable building area, plenty of water, force. It's all about the same. Let's choose Cedar Valley 4K as my custom map theme. Now, I am using some mods that allow me to still earn achievements while having mods on. There's a way that there's a mod. I'll put it in my description of the mod you can get to actually allow you to still earn achievements while you have mods equipped and activated. Let's start on Hanami Bay. Our city name is Crestfall, and let's start a brand new game. And we're gonna have some fun with this city. So, what I like to do in my cities, I like to have the starting highway go right through the middle. That way you can divide your city with housing on one side of the highway, industry on the other side of the highway, just basically split the traffic, have the industry go to the right, all the homes go to the left. We're going to be building single point urban interchanges, we're going to be building trumpet interchanges, we're going to be building a lot of things. So let's start a brand new city of Crestfall on the Hanami Bay map. I've never played on this map before. And let's just have some fun. Let's build a city. Okay. So when you begin a brand new city, the game begins on pause. And this is very, very, very important that the game stay on pause as you begin your city. And if it's a brand new city, you'll get this little pop-up that says, hello, let's start by building some roads and zoning the areas next to them. Buildings will spawn on the zoned areas, and you will unlock new city services and buildings as your city grows. For help, click on the question mark button. It will provide you with information regarding the menu or views you have open. Okay? That's this little question mark you can write down here. Now, I have lots of mods installed. One of them that are my favorite mods is Unlimited Ore and Oil and Unlimited Soil. So we never have to worry about having to relocate our oil well. We never have to worry about running out of ore and whatnot, and we can have all the soil we want. This is a map that was released with the After Dark expansion, and it has a nice theme to it. I mean, look how beautiful this map is. There's some islands we can expand onto, build some bridges across there. We're gonna have some fun. And the highway connection is right here, and then of course there's the vanilla highway interchange. When we get to that square, we're going to rebuild that interchange because I've never been a fan of the vanilla interchanges in City Skylines. We're going to turn that into a trumpet interchange in a future episode. Here is the starting of our city. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the highway basically go bam right through the middle of the city. We'll put some homes and businesses over here. We'll put some industry over here. And before we even begin, we're going to click on this little icon up here, and this is our. Really, I can't look at my info views yet. Interesting. So I can't click on like water. Okay. So what we need to do first is we need to build a road, and the only road we have access to is this small 2-lane alleyway to begin with. I mean, there's some other roads that I've downloaded from the Steam Workshop, like one with painted median or one with a median. But like all these other roads, we don't have access to because we need to build the first road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this 2-way alley, and I'm going to press the down arrow. Oh, okay. So I don't want to use a 2-way alley. Let's use this 2-lane road, and I should be able to go up, and I should be able to go down. And I want to build this down in a height of -10 meters, and I will show you why we do that. We're going to build just a little 1-unit section. Oh crap, hang on. I don't want it to be underground. I want the ground to be forced to use it. And so 10 meters. So if you're using it's a fine road tool version 2.04, and it brings up this, and you can change your elevation step. Normally the default is to go 3 meters at a time, but this you can do it in 1 meter at a time. And I want to be down to -10, and then I want to click this button right here, which is it forces the ground to follow the elevation of the road. It doesn't put it underground. It forces it. So you need to do one section, and you can see it right there. Okay, and it's going to dig into the ground, which is just what we want. And then as we build that road, you'll see that we have access to 2-lane one-way roads now. We have access to all of these now. We have access to some of these asymmetrical roads. We have access to these roads. We don't have access to the highway yet. But what I want is I want these 2-lane one-way roads. Because what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to upgrade these roads later into the highway, and we can basically build these roads as if they are highway. The other thing that I'm going to do is that on the no pillars mod, I'm going to set this to no zoning. That way we can have this road basically act like a highway, because you can't build off a highway. We're just going to keep that as a -10 for now. Okay, now we're going to press our up arrow and bring it down, bring it back to ground level, and we're going to build out in a straight line. I want to say, let's go 60 units. It's going to cost 2,400, and then we're going to come right over here, and we're going to be following the road guidelines, and we're going to build this right there and go all the way back. And if we did it right, it should be at a 180.2, but we can do that with 180 all the way out 60. Okay, so now we have our roads in, okay? And if you want to change the direction of a road, come down here to this blue exclamation point right there. It says upgrade road, and then if you right click on the road, it will change the direction. So the road that used to be facing in that direction is now facing in the opposite direction. And then when we get access to the highways, we will upgrade those roads to the highway. So the reason that I wanted to do 60 units is because it gives us some nodes that we can play with right in the middle. And so what I want to do is I want to use our move it mod. So click on this little, it looks like a little up, down, left and right arrows over here by the bulldozer. Click on the move it mod, and you can start to see the nodes. So this, we'll follow this node 1, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes. Or, so what we want to do, we have 1 segment, 2 segment, 3, 4, we have 5 segments. So right here in the middle of this segment, right there is where we want to put our bridge. Or what we can do is we can extend these roads out by 1 more segment. So go out to a distance of 70. Oh, see, and I forgot to do no zoning. So just click on upgrade, and then you pick that off. So no zoning, go out to 70, and that'll give us 7 nodes that we can play with. That way we can, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. Okay. So on the move it mod, we're going to go 1, this is the first node, second node, third node, fourth node, right there in the middle. And I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to select that node too. And then I'm going to do Control and H. H is in hotel. Control H, and we're going to click over here on this road that we sunk, and it will put that road down 10 meters into the ground. And the reason we go down 10 meters is because I want the roads that go over the highway to be at ground level. And you have to be a minimum of 9 units below the bridge, otherwise the trucks won't clear the bottom of the bridge. And if you go down 10 units from ground level and then put a bridge on top of it, it hangs down 1 meter below the level of the bridge, which then makes it 9 meters from the base of the bridge to the road level, and the trucks can go underneath it just fine. So this looks kind of funky, right? So then what we do, we deselect move it, and we come over here to Electric's Fine Road Tools, and we're going to click on this one, which is select nodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this node, and the node next to it, and the node next to that, and we're going to press enter to give us a straight slope. Okay? And then we're going to deselect this node and that node. So right click that one, right click that one. And now select the other side for 2 nodes beyond the middle and press enter again. And what that does is it makes this nice dip going down into the ground. And we deselect all of this and do the same thing on the other side. So those 2 nodes, press enter, deselect those 2, then the middle, and 2 on the other end, and press enter. And now we have this nice little dip as we go down, and we can build a bridge directly across those two roads. And as we upgrade those to highways, this little middle part will just disappear, and it will look just as nice as the highway over here does. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're going to start with a single point urban interchange. Now, we only have 64,300 to do this, and we have to do it right and set it up correctly. And then if we're lucky enough, we should have enough, we can actually start with our zoning. But in this episode, I want to show you how I start a city. So we start with this 70 units out, 70 units out with the two-way, one-way roads, and then put that dip in the middle, right in the middle of the road. We're going to build a single point urban interchange right over that dip. So the way we do that, we come over here to these roads. These are the 4-lane roads. And then because I have network extension, we have 4 lanes with painted medians. We have asymmetrical roads. That's 3 plus 2. This is 4 plus 2. This is the one I want. I want this 4-lane road with the median. Eventually we can upgrade it with trees, or as we get our monorails, we can actually put monorails over this bridge and it'll be just fine. So we're going to take this 4-lane road with median, and we're going to select to do elevated force use of elevated pieces available, or force use of bridge pieces if available. We don't want a full bridge, we just want elevated pieces available. And this is where it's most important. We want to be 4 units away from the middle of the road. Now, I had the zoning right here in the middle for a reason. That way we can see exactly where the 4 units is. Okay, so here's this, and if we drag the road out to here, we see it's like 5 units. We want to be 4 units away, so we want to be on this second vertical line, and we want to be at a height of 0. Okay, and we are now 4 units away from that road. You see how it says 4U? That's what we want. Okay, and we want to draw a bridge over the top to this other 4 units away, and you should have a bridge that is exactly 12 units long. This is what we want, okay? And as you can see, because we built it right in the middle of the dip, the bridge is at ground level, and you see how it sticks down about 1 meter? There's still plenty of room right here for the trucks to go down underneath the viaduct and call it a good day. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to build this city and have the roads be correct for road hierarchy. And you want to build your city with these things in mind. Otherwise, as you get on down farther along the road, as your cities are building up and you don't have the correct roads in place, you're going to have traffic all piled up and backed up, and it's going to be a giant nightmare. So build the correct roads to begin with and have your zoning correct before you even begin, and then just build on best practices. So this is going to be the entrance to our city. And what we're going to do, we're going to come here to the 6-lane roads. And I don't have the 6-lane road with trees that I want, but I have this 6-lane road. And I want it to stay on the ground. And I want it to just be straight. So I'm going to come out 30 units. So when you're building a road, you know you're at 5 units when that other blue line appears. So this is 4 units, and there's no blue line over here on the right side. But as soon as I hit 5, that other blue line appears. And as you go to that first blue line, that's 10 units. I want to go out by 30. So come out here all the way to 30 units and build the road. There it is. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing on the other side. Come out by 30 units. Okay, and there it is. So we build the side. It should cost you about 3,000 simoleons or whatever it is. Okay, so now we have our main road that goes right through the middle of the city. So our industry is going to be over here, our homes are going to be over here, and we're going to keep everything separated. And we're going to split the traffic right here, and we're going to make a single point urban interchange right here with this bridge that we just built, and this is going to be really, really pretty. So we need to have one-way roads. And this right here, this one lane, one way, we're going to start like this, but when we upgrade it to the highway roads, it's going to look much better. And we're going to select this one lane, one-way road, because we don't have access to the highways yet till we get 2800 and we get access to the highway. This one lane, one-way road, we're going to start on a curve, and we're going to have this be an elevated piece. And right here in the middle, we're going to select the middle of the bridge, and we're going to be using our precision engineering. Now, precision engineering is this green arc that you see that says 52.1 degrees. And to make it so it's not snapping to stuff, because we want it to be exactly 45, you can turn, like if you click on this little arrow right here, the toggle snapping, you can turn and just have it be the angle, and then you can have it just roll all the way around. But if you have everything turned on and you have zoning on these first rows, you can go right to that second square. So it's, if you're looking at the bridge, there's 1, 2, 3 squares out, it's 6 units away, and it's exactly 45 degrees. Or you can come to this first one that's just 2 away from the bridge at exactly 45 degrees. So what you want to do is you want to have it be 5 units out, and then we might have to turn on, hang on, just one second, let me put bridge pieces in. This may not be the right road to do it with. We might have to use the 2-lane one-ways because it has bridges. So again, coming out 5 units, 45 degrees exactly. So with the 2-lane one-way roads, we're going to upgrade these to highway ramps. 45 degrees at 5 units. 45 degrees at, I want it to be 45 degrees at 5 units. Seeing with the snapping, it's kind of really hard to get right there in the middle. So I'm going to turn all the snapping off except for the angle. I want it to be 5 units out and exactly 45 degrees. There's 44 degrees. 45 degrees at 5 units. And then I want to curve it right over here for 5 more units. And we're going to go at, we can get 145 degrees. So try and get as close to 145 degrees as you can get. Okay, and we're going to go right there. So 5 units by 5 units at as close to 145 degrees as you can get. Bam, we're going to put that in. Okay, so now we have this bridge that goes to ground level, and we're going to connect it over here where the road goes back up to ground level. Okay, that's one arc of the bridge. Now we're going to take this other side, and because we have the angle on, it's going to go exactly at 90 degrees. Okay, so 45.1 is not bad. Come out 5 units, and we want the height to be at 0, or we can even have the eye be at 1 unit, that's fine. So 45, we're at 5 units, and we want to go out by 5 units and have it curve as close to 145 degrees as we can get. The other side was 145.2, so we should have this one be 145.2. There's exactly 145 degrees. I can go 0.1 or 0.3. It's so touchy. Okay, so we're going to do 145.1, but it's 7 units. We want to go 5 units. 145.2, 5 units. Oh, come on, it doesn't have to be 6 units. 145 point, there we go, close as we can get. And we stick that right in, and that bridge is now at ground level. Okay, so there we have 145 degrees, 145 degrees, 5 by 5, going out 45 degrees from the bridge. Now that we have those in, we can do the other side just fine. So that's the first step, is to put those 2 out, and then do the same thing on the other side, and it should automatically snap right there at 45.1. So come out 5 units, over 5 units, 5 units at 145.2, put that in, 5 units by 5 units at 145 degrees. So again, it's just going to automatically go straight out at, it was 45.1, 44.9, it's basically 45 degrees. Come out 5 units, and curve in 5 units at as close to 145.2. There it is. Come back to 5 units, 145 degrees. 100, I had it. 145.2, I just saw it. 4.2, I just saw it. 2. Okay, there it is, 5 by 545 degrees. Put that in. Okay, so now we have our 4 arms out. That is step 1 of building a single point urban interchange and having it look really nice. We just used the curved road tool, okay, and we just arced it out by 5, over by 5 with a curve of 145 degrees. And it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to have everything. No, we're not. We're just going to leave it right there on the angle, and we're going to now have it just be normal, unmodded road placement behavior. Okay, and continuing with this 2-lane one-way road, we are now going to come out by this by 5 units, and then in, if we can get 5 units at 45.4 degrees, we want it to connect to that node right there where the road begins to go down the hill. So 5 by 5 at 131.3, put that in right there, and there we have it. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other side. So right here on this road, it's still on just the curved road tool, come out by 5 units, and then connect to that node right there, bam, and there we have it. That way the sides look symmetrical, and we have to upgrade this section to be the ground. That way it looks the same as the other side. There we have it. We will fit, when we upgrade this to the highway, it will look infinitely better. Okay, and if you don't like the way that the slope is shaped, because let's just delete that right there. We want it to connect to the exact node. So on our curve tool, 5 units, 5 units by 5 units. Yeah, that's basically where it was. What we can do is we can even do our move it mod, and we can move this back to where the crosswalks are the same. Now, if you don't like that slope, you can use your electric road tool, deselect move it mod, select electric road tool, and be sure to select that one right there. Select this node, and that node, and the bridge, and press enter, and it will slope it correctly. It is sloped correctly, it just looks weird because these were the incorrect roads. So that is sloped correctly. Okay? Now we do the same thing on the other side. Oh, what is it? Okay, so we can just deselect that. So same thing now on the other side. Curved road tool. Come out by 5 units, and over by 5 units we want to go to this node where the road begins to go down the hill. So 5 by 5, boom, there it is, and then do out by 5, over by 5, and connect right there. You see how the crosswalks are right there. Okay, that is the left turn. So your single point urban interchange should look like this. Okay, now we need to put in the right turns, and what we're going to do, because we made this bridge exactly 12 units across, we're going to take this node right there, and we're going to take a straight shot road, and we're going to connect it from this node to that node, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides, from this node right there to that bridge right there, and then from this node to that node, and this node to that node, okay? This is what your single point urban interchange should look like at the very, very beginning of the game. It should look just like this. When we get to the highway, I will show you how we fix these roads and actually make it a proper urban interchange, because what it really should be is it should be done with 1-lane roads, and if we then upgrade the roads to 1-way, and we're going to have to turn on some road anarchy, this one doesn't exactly have a bridge piece, so it just comes in really weird, but you can actually do this and have this be just 1 lane, okay, which is what it should be. It should just be 1 lane. 1 lane connecting, 1 lane connecting. Upgrade your roads to the 1-lane alley with the network extensions. It's going to make the ground look kind of funky. When we get this upgraded to highway stuff, we put our pillars in, it will look much nicer. For right now, it looks like this. Okay? Now, one of the other mods I like is I love Node Controller. And this button right here is the unified UI, and you can actually drag these buttons all over the screen if you want, if you click and hold it. And if you click on Unified UI, it puts other stuff in here. Now this grabber tool right here, you click on that and you can select other mods and drag them over to the Unified UI, and it will actually put it in this little area. We want to have this node controller, okay? And we want to click on this node right here, and we want to make sure there's no markings on it, and we want to give it plenty of space we can use to build our intersection. I would recommend a minimum of 25 meters. That's just minimum, that's just me. And then right click to deselect the node. And then all these nodes right here that have crosswalks on them, make sure to put them on a slope and make sure that they do not have any markings on them, because you wouldn't see crosswalks on a highway interchange. And then on this node right here, where they connect, I like to have it be a minimum of 15. You can go anywhere 15 to 20. I just like the 15 because when you actually mark it up with intersection marking tool, it looks really good. And then again, take away the crosswalks. And then do that on all the markings. So where it connects to the highway, 15 meters, take away the crosswalks. Where it connects right there, give it, how much did I give this one? Oh, let's go at 10 meters where the two roads connect. Give this one 10 meters where the road connect, take away the crosswalks. And then on this one right here, give it 10 meters where it connects, take away the crosswalks. On this one, 15 meters where it connects to the highway, take away the crosswalks. Now, important. On this node right here, where the two nodes connect, make sure it's on slope, and that will just make it a little bit nicer. So over here on this one, 10 meters where it connects, no crossing, and have it be on a slope, and it will just make the slope, it'll just keep it all nice and neat. Okay, so that, and then this one needs to be sloped. There we go, perfect. Okay, now where the right lane connects at the end of the bridge, make them 20 meters. Okay, and then on this other side, make it 20 meters. Okay, and we're also going to take away the crossing, and we're going to take away all the crossings. So once you have, now here's the thing, if you make the nodes too big, you're going to get these weird janky parts. So if we lower this to 15, and then we lower this to 20, and lower this to 15, and if we put it on a slope, and we put this one on a slope, and we put this one on a slope, it'll just straighten out the bridge. Okay, so now we have, these ones are at 15, this middle one is at 20, and this one on the end is at 15. Okay, and if you want to click on make ends straight, you can. If you want to do this one and say make ends straight, you can. And there's lots of things. Click on this thing right here and make ends straight, and then make it 15, and then this, there's our 25, and then this is 15. Okay, and we're good. So we have our bridge across the highway. This will eventually flatten out and we'll put a pillar underneath it, but for right now it's going to look like this. It's going to look janky as we begin our city, because we're starting out with a single point urban interchange, which is, it's completely overkill for the beginning of your city. We still have 48,000 bucks to spend. And then what I like to do on the right turn, okay, I like to take the Move It mod. I like to select this because it's all just one segment, and I like to move it inward so it's arced the other direction. And you see how the road kind of disappears? So originally it looked like that. I like to move it inward until the road disappears, and then just move it back and then right click and it looks like this. Okay, and when we upgrade these to highway roads, it will all sort itself out. I just like to have the right turn arc the other direction. So same thing on the other side, take the right turn and move it inward until the road clashes like that, and then just bring it back just a little bit. That way your right turns are arced inward. And then on this one right here, take the highway, arc it the other way until the road disappears, just move it back slightly, and there we go. And if we need to move this one just a little bit, we can. Okay, so you can just use the Move It mod just to tweak it just a little bit, and we'll make the roads the way we want it. So again, on this side, Last one, we just need to arc this one inward, just like that. Okay, so now your single point urban interchange looks like this. We have our center node, we have the left turn going everywhere, we have the right turn that comes in, and then it just eases the right turn into the lane. Now, the reason we use 6-lane road to begin with and then a 4-lane bridge is because it gives us this dedicated right turn arrow. Okay, and now we're going to set the node up with Traffic Manager President Edition. That's this one right here that looks like a little crown, and then the stoplight in the middle of it. Click on that, and it'll bring up this menu right here, Traffic Manager President Edition. And I'm using version 11.6.5.3. Okay, we want to click right here on Lane Connector, and we're going to start with this node right here in the middle of the bridge. Okay, and this is how you connect a single point urban interchange with Lane Connector. This lane right here only goes straight. Okay, the left turn can turn left, or it can make a U-turn. Okay, from the other direction, spin the camera around other direction. This outside lane only goes straight. This left turn can turn left, or it can make a U-turn. Okay, now coming from the highway. Okay, on this. Okay, so remember how I said we need to have all the roads facing the right direction, and to change the road direction, you upgrade the road, and then you right-click it. So as you come off the highway, this needs to be coming that direction, this needs to be going that direction. Going onto the highway, this one comes all the way down, this one needs to be turned around, so you're going on the highway. Coming this one going on the highway, on the highway, on the highway, that one's fine. This is coming off the highway, so this needs to turn around, this needs to turn around, and that needs to turn around. That way, when you go in with your lane connectors, I now have a point right here for this road coming off the highway, turning left. This road turns into that lane, and that way they're not getting in each other's way, but it can also do a U-turn and turn around on the highway. And then coming the other direction, this left turn can go into that lane, so it's not getting into this other lane that's going straight, or it can do a U-turn. So when you're done, you should see this nice 2 straight, 2 left turns, other direction, left turn, turn around, and then in this direction, left turn, turn around. We should make this nice diamond in the middle of the interchange. And it should look just like that. And if these lines are not crossing, that shows you where the path of the cars are going. This is what it should look like if you've done everything correctly. Okay? And then what we can do here on the end of the bridge. So the middle of the bridge looks like that. On the end of the bridge, this node, we have this lane going to the middle, this lane going there, and then this lane goes into that far right lane. That way, every lane has a thing you can go into. The other thing that you can do when you're in the node, you can press Control S, and it will put in everybody going straight. So if we come over to this other intersection at the other end of the bridge and just do Control S, it does exactly what I just did. The dedicated right turn lane, the lane right here only turns to the right. This is how you set it up with Lane Connector and Traffic Manager President Edition. Okay, this is now set up correctly. But the intersection is kind of bland. Kind of very bland. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on this other one right here, the intersection marking tool, and we're going to click on the single point urban interchange. And I'm going to show you the lines that we're going to make. So we're going to start here with this left turn, and it's going to go over here to that point over there. Now, if you just click once without holding Shift or Control or anything, it's going to give you a dotted line. That's what we want, and we're going to signify left turn with dotted lines. So there it is. There's our left turn lane right over there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the left turn goes to that point, and we have a dotted line going to that point. And that right there shows you that the 2 opposing left turns are not crossing each other. That's what we want. Now the left turn's coming from the highway. Goes this is the lane I want it to go to. Okay, and then this left turn on this side from the highway goes to this lane and to that lane. And that there you see it. There is the diamond in the middle that we saw with the lane connectors. And I'll show you some fun things we can do with that while we're in the intersection marking tool. Okay, and then what we can do is we can signify the other lane. So we're going to have this come straight across, just like that, and then this goes straight across, just like that. Okay, and then, oh, whoops, I'm sorry, and then on the other side, the outermost lane just goes straight across. So now you can see the lanes where they all go, but it looks kind of cluttered like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a filler to fill in the other spaces and just dignify where the lanes are. So if you hold Alt, ALT, you're going to see all these little points. Everywhere that you want to fill in with something else, like for example, we want to go, before we can do that, we also need to put in the other lines on the edges, otherwise it won't follow things correctly. So click right here and hold down the Shift key and come over here to this line, and it will put in a solid white line. And do that on all the edges. So solid white line there. We want to have a solid white line right there on the edge. We want to have a solid white line, so hold Shift and just do that on the edges. So click, hold Shift, and connect the edges. And click on a thing, hold Shift, and connect the edges. That way we have a solid white line that will follow. Now, when we hold Alt, I can select this dot right there, and it will follow the line we made, and then come over here to this dot, and come over here to that dot. And now that we have this filler in, we can come over here to the fillers, and we can change it from stripes to grid to solid to chevron to pavement, whatever. Let's pick a chevron, and then we can turn the chevron until it looks normal. And the way that chevrons work is you want to have the cars going the way that the lines are pointing. So these cars coming in this direction are, the lines are pointing out that way. And that's the way they should go, but on this side they're going against the line. So what we really should do is have it be stripes. And we want to turn the stripes so they're facing the proper direction, or what we can do is we can just have it be solid. Okay, so let's do that, and let's just have it be solid because we're not splitting lanes. Let's just have it be solid. So over here on these corners here, let's hold Alt and click the shape we want and change it to solid. And we're going to do that on all the corners of the middle intersection. You hold Alt and you click the 3 sections you want, and then make it be solid. Okay, and then again hold Alt and select the 3 sections you want, and then change this to be solid. Okay, so now we've done that. And then there's these sections in the middle between the lanes that aren't part of any lane that we want to be solid. So let's have this one that comes straight out to there, goes to here, goes to there, and back to here. Let's have that also be solid because no one's driving on this part. They're driving down the middle here, and then this is a left turn. So let's fill in all these little trapezoid shapes by pressing Alt and filling in these weird trapezoid shapes and just changing this to solid. And then on this side over here we have this one. And if we did our things correctly, it'll make these perfect shapes right here in the middle of the intersection, and it will start to define the lanes. And change it to solid, okay? And then we can also do this middle diamond right here that no one will be driving on. So we're holding Alt and selecting that diamond, and we're making it be solid. Are you starting to see the lanes? There they are. And then there's also this weird arched triangle. So hold Alt, go here to there to that arc to this arc, and make it solid. And what that does is that basically reinforces the median, and we can do it on the other side too, so it basically just enforces that there's a median right there that they're not supposed to cross. And so we'll come over here and we'll select this other one on the other side. So holding Alt, click, and do the arc of the triangle, and then the bottom of the triangle, and make it solid. Okay, so now we have our interchange right here. There it is. And if you wanted to fill this in right here on the right and left sides, you can. So we can hold Alt, and we can take this line to that line, to this line, to that line, and back again, and have that be solid. And we can do the same thing over here by holding Alt and just doing these outer points where no one's going to be driving. Get that node and then come back over here. And because we put that solid line there, it follows the line. We can just make it solid, and then there you have it. There is one going straight, one going left. We have all the left turns. So when you're done with your single point urban interchange, it should look just like this. That's what it should look like. And then what you can do, the fun thing you can do with the intersection marking tool, you can save this as a preset. So if you click over here on the preset, how did I do this? Oh, it's up here at the top. So these are all the lines we made, these are all the fillers we made, and up here you can save this as a preset. And then it'll appear in your presets, and you can name it whatever you want. So there's my SPY center, SPY markings, and you can see it looks exactly like we have here. And then there's the new preset. So that way, if you make other intersections, you can just come to the presets, attach it, rotate it to where it fits, and then just click apply. That way you don't have to keep drawing lines all the time. Because you could spend hours and hours and hours and hours drawing lines on your intersection. And let me tell you, drawing lines is really fun. So here's how you mark up the end of the bridge. So while still in intersection marking tool, click on the end of the bridge. And this is what we're going to do. This is a double solid line right here. So we're going to hold the shift key and bring it over here to the edge of the median and have one solid line. And then we're going to bring back the other side as a solid line, and there we have it. Now we have this shape to fill in with a solid line to extend the median right there. And if it looks like it's curving out and curving in, it's supposed to, because that's the way it's supposed to look like that. And then we have the right lane. This is the edge of the right lane. So this is the edge of the road. This is the edge of the right turn lane. We're going to have a solid line going out, because technically this is parking space for the cars to park right here, but there's no parking space going onto the highway, and so we're cutting off the parking space. When we upgrade this to a 6-lane road with trees, the parking spaces go away. So we have a solid line going out, and we have a solid line going out. That is the right turn lane. And then this is the edge of the road going over to there. So we have a solid white line. And then we just have a dotted line, so don't hold anything. And there you can see the curve of the road going out, because we have this median in the middle now, and this doesn't have a median, so we have to go out to the median, and they can go out and go straight, and then they can curve back in, and then these can go out and curve around and go on to the highway. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this right turn, solid white line to the edge of the road, cutting off the parking spaces. Solid white line, there's that lane. This is a solid white line, and then this is just a dotted line. So you hold shift for a solid white line, hold nothing for a dotted line. And then you can also change the width, the dash length, and the space length. I just leave it as default, and it matches so nicely. And then what we can do, because what we're doing is we're adding a lane here and taking a lane away there, these should be chevrons, because these 3 lanes are all moving in the same direction. So you can put chevrons here on the corner of the bridge. So you need to have a solid white line going around the corner and a solid white line going around the corner. And then you can hold Alt and you can select this inner triangle, and we can make this be a chevron. And you can turn the chevron until it's facing in the proper direction. So the lines on the chevron, they're pointing out away from the road, which is what the cars are going this way, and they're also pointing in the direction you should be going. So if you come around, go that way. When a road joins another road, so you have one lane joining two lanes, making three lanes, the chevron should be pointing in this direction. When the road is leaving, you have a lane leaving, going from 3 lanes to 2 lanes, the chevron should be pointing in the opposite direction. So select these 3 nodes. Let's turn it into a chevron. And we're going to turn the chevron the other direction, and then we can invert it. So that's the way it should be. That way, this one points down, this one points up, because what it's doing is, think of it like a knife. Like it's cutting into the lane, separating this lane from these other 2, and on this way, it's going out, so like a zipper or whatever. But that's the way the chevron should be, and then this middle section right here should be a solid white section. And then we'll just make this be solid. And then if you really want, you can select this part right here, and you can press Alt and select this section in the middle and just have it be solid. And there you go, there's the median right there. And it's all the same. Okay? And then what you can do is you can save this as a preset, and like for the close fit, the approach, there it is. So if you click on the approach and click right here to apply, and it looks kind of funky, just click the rotate until it looks correct. So just click rotate until it looks correct, and then click this check mark to apply. And then you can go to the other section, other side, click on it, click on your presets, click on the SPY approach, click apply, and if it looks right, kind of looks right, so we're going to rotate it. But you see how, no, this is perfect. The road that's leaving gets cut, pointing inward, and the road that's joining is pointing outward. So that is correct. Oh, we're going to click apply. And then we're going to click on this little section right here, and we're going to press Alt and select these 4 in the center and make them be solid to accentuate the median. Okay, so when you're all done with your single point urban interchange, this is what it should look like. And you should now clearly be able to see where the lanes split off. One goes to the left, one goes straight. This one coming in from the left takes that second lane. No one gets in each other's way. We don't have traffic changing lanes and getting in each other's way. And that is what a single point urban interchange should look like. There it is. Okay, so now that we have that built, we've spent nearly 45 minutes just building the initial entrance to our city. One single point urban interchange, and we have our main avenue going right through the middle of the city. And this is how I like to begin my cities. I still have right around 45,000 gold to play with. We still need to put in our other roads, put in our zoning, make sure we have water and water pipes and electricity. But this is how I like to start my cities. One single point urban interchange, a big main avenue right through the middle of the city, and we'll put the split the traffic right here. So all the cars are going to come off the highway. And then remember how I didn't fix this one right here, so we need to have this one. How big did we have this one be? 15 meters? So we need to have this one come out to 15 meters. We'll have it be sloped. That way if there is a slope, it fixes it, because it's right at the beginning of the slope. So we slope that, we turn off the markings. Okay, and that way it's all the same. Now the other thing that we can do is we can mark up how the road leaves the intersection. So if we click right here with our intersection marking tool, we want to have this lane be off, but it could also go straight. So this is the end of the lane, because these roads have parking spaces. Hold shift and make your solid line. And then what we want to do is we want to have this be a solid line out, so the road is lane going out, but we also want to have the lane have a solid line over to here. And now here's what we can do when we have stuff like this. Select the lane you want. So this is the lane, this line right here is the line going right there. And if you hover over these points, it will fill in the circle. See how that blue circle is filled in? And this top point, this red circle up there is filled in. See that? So we want to have the start point is there. And we click on this 2, or we should be able to click on this 2. I do have lines that intersect with it. It's weird because I do have lines that intersect with it. That one doesn't. This one, they're saying it doesn't intersect because these aren't the correct roads. And it looks like there's a slight curve. Even though it says it's straight, it looks like there's a slight curve in the road. It says it's straight. Well, it is what it is. So this is the edge of the road. That should be a solid line. And then this should just be a dotted line. Okay, and that's what this lane should do, but I wanted to get rid of this lane, these points in the middle. So what I can do is I have presets to have it set up correctly, and there's a little chevron right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on presets. 1 by 1 split, 2-lane highway off ramp. I'm going to click apply, and we're just going to click rotate until it looks correct. Because this isn't a proper highway, we won't apply. So you can do whatever, you can do what you like. Oh dear. So what I want to do is I want to take this line, I want to just remove that line, and I want to remove that line. And so basically that's really all you need. You just need the edge of the highway, a dotted line, and then this right turn lane can go right or it can go straight. As we upgrade the highway, this will be 3 lanes going in, and then 2 lanes underneath the interchange, and then 3 lanes on the other side. And then it will be a dedicated left turn lane or right turn lane. And then of course we need to have the solid white line going around the edge. And that's basically all we need for that intersection. And then we just need to do the same thing on all 4 sides. So that's what we'll do here. So we have our solid white line on the edge of the highway. We have a dotted line in the middle. We have our solid white line. Remember, you hold shift. And then on this node right here, solid white line. There it is. That's really all we need for that intersection. But you see how it's a world of difference from what it was to what it is. And that in that way, the intersections just look a little bit cleaner. They're not just big blank, big empty spaces. So have your solid line on the edge, and hold shift for your solid lines. Actually, that line should be deleted. It's this line is the edge of the highway. That line's the edge of the highway, and then we have just a click for a dotted line. There, that's done. And then on this side, going in this other direction, we have our solid line leaving the highway. We have our solid line entering the highway, solid line straight through the highway, and a dotted line down the middle. And did I do that on all 4? Yes, I did. So once you have those intersections marked up, it just makes it look a little bit better. And as we upgrade this to highway in a future episode, it will all make sense. So now that we have our markings in, you can actually, if you want to be hyper realistic on the detail, you can click on this intersection here, and you can designate that this lane is that right there, and this lane is that right there, and that makes this lane cross. And this is what I wanted to show you. So now that we have our lanes, okay, so this line starts there on the red and goes to the green. But I don't want it to go to green, I just want it to go to that point right there. And then on this other line, it starts at the red, goes to the green, but I don't want it to start on the red, I want it to just start right there. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to click on this line and go right around that. And then I can hold Alt and I can click these 3 points and I can put in a chevron, and because this is leaving the highway, it should be turned the other direction. And you can just do that and you can see how the lanes separate. Now, the road kind of disappears because it's not actually a proper bridge piece. It's going to look funky right now. When we upgrade it to highway roads, it will fix itself. We can go around and we can put chevrons in the other four corners. So what I can do, I click on that intersection. If I go to presets, I can say close fit is a 1x1 split. We'll apply that and it puts in exactly what we need. As it's going in, we need to just flip that around. So we'll apply that and we'll go to fillers and we'll just invert the chevron. Okay, and then we come over here to this node under presets, close fit 1x1 split. We'll apply it and then we'll just rotate it around until it fits. And since we're leaving, that's correct, so we'll apply that, done. And then over here on this one, we go to presets and we do the 1x1 split and we click apply. And we rotate it around until it's where we want it. But because we're going the other direction, we'll apply it and then we'll come to fillers and invert the chevron. And now it's all facing the same direction. So now our intersections are all marked up. They're all decorated nice and neat. We still have more than 45,000. You want to be able to build this and still have right around 45,000 money to play with. Because we still have to do other roads branching off from the 6th lane going into our neighborhoods. We need to build an industry section over here, but that's going to be our next episode when we start building our city. So this is the city entrance. I like to do one single point urban interchange right to begin with. It looks like that when everything is said and done. And this will handle quite a bit of traffic. And then you can upgrade it, and if you want to have monorail tracks go down the middle of the road, you can. And I'll show you how to do that in future episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, rate me a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. That way you will always know when new content comes out. Also, please tell your friends about me so they can come and they can enjoy these videos and they can enjoy the adventures and they can enjoy the building and the sandbox just as much as you do. City Skylines is a huge sandbox. You can build what you like, you can build how you like, you can do whatever you want and make your cities be absolutely amazing. But yeah, tell your friends about me so they can come and they can enjoy these videos as much as you do. Finally, and most importantly of all, please remember this. Games are supposed to be fun, and you're supposed to have fun while playing them. So if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So as we go through and build up this city, I'll show you best practices, best tips, best tricks. I'll show you how to do it. That way you can do it correctly, you can have it look uber professional. Because I mean, doesn't this intersection look absolutely incredible? I'll show you how to do it, and I'll show you all of the angles you should go for, the lengths you should go for to make your stuff look absolutely amazing and have it be incredibly functional. So I hope you will join me next time for episode 2 when we start building out our city plots for zoning and we start growing our city. I look forward to bringing you that content, and I hope you'll join me next time for the start of Crestfall. But until then, my name is Z, and I'm signing off.